97 First Alert Weather with TG Shuck, Lexington's only certified broadcast meteorologist by the AMS.
It's been a nice warm evening here in central and eastern Kentucky. Here in Rupp Arena, of course, we're all dry. The ice is a little wet, just glazed over for the big performance. The severe threat continues in southeastern Kentucky right now. Look at that, baby, right there we go. This area of low pressure, unfortunately, it is going to intensify as it rolls northeastward.
We always know with a circus in town, it's a good time, but you also never know what you're going to find down there either.
And you never know what TG's going to do, and he is dressed up. Folks at home, please record this. You may never see this again. TG?
What do you think here? You know, if I got in front of the key wall and did a little weather dress like this, it might be a little ugly. It's been interesting, to say the least, the last hour and a half down here at Rupp Arena. We are under the big top known as Rupp Arena for the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus all this weekend downtown. Now, always an awful lot of fun. We've been having fun with the clowns here. They're doing a little acrobatics going on. We're actually going to visit with them here in just a minute. First, let's talk a little weather here. Warm day. It's good to get inside from the heat of outside. Live First Alert radar. Not too much going on. A few little isolated cells popping up across south central Kentucky, but for the most part, those haven't been too terribly strong, and they should go by the wayside once we see the sun go down. Temperatures are on the warm to hot side. 87 Lexington, Jackson, 91 in Ashland, 88 in Frankfort. Visible satellite bank of cloud cover that we had earlier kind of diminishing now, so pretty much full sunshine here in the bluegrass, much of central and eastern Kentucky. We do have high pressure over New England, so that return flow is picking up. And with that stationary front out to the west, that is going to be moving eastward over the next couple of days. And that's probably going to increase our chances for a few scattered thunderstorms from time to time, especially this weekend. Short-term forecast through the evening. Temperatures still into the mid-upper 80s, low 80s by 9 o'clock. We're going to be in the mid-70s come the midnight hour. Now, heading into the day for your Friday, or wrapping up the work week and heading into the weekend, high school football starts tomorrow night, so we may have to dodge a thunderstorm or two. If you are planning on heading out to a game, you might want to take the rain gear just to be on the safe side here. We're going to see a better chance into Saturday and Sunday with that front draped across the bluegrass, and then, of course, we will see things clearing out naturally just in time for next week. All right, 3-day planner and 7-day forecast. 89 tomorrow, 87 on Saturday, 85 on Sunday. Still a few scattered thunderstorms around, and then we'll see temperatures not too bad as we get into the early part of next week. Low and mid 80s for afternoon highs. And if it sounds like I'm squeezing my nose, well, there is a reason for that. Right there, mid 7-day forecast here. The old red nose put right in place here. But we have Michelle, we have Nari, and we have Luke from Scotland. Hello. Thus the outfit here. All right, tell me about the show a little bit here.
Well, I would like to tell you that my favoriteest part ever is the human cannonball, and it is 2 people, the Misers. They're married, they're really cute, and they get a cute little daughter named Skylar. Anyway, they get shot out of a double-barrel cannon shooting all the way from ring 1 all the way down to ring 3.
Now, let me ask you this. You got that fly swatter raised like you're going to smack me with it. Is that part of the act here? Am I going to get that before this is over with?
No, you have to be prepared. There are flies everywhere.
Okay, all right. And I asked you guys this off the air. Do you get tired of being happy all the time, or are you not happy all the time?
Oh, I don't feel any obligation to be happy ever, and that's part of who I am.
That's part of who you are. Well, good for you. That's right. All right, really a lot of fun here. Again, under the big top. I got to lose this here so you can understand what I'm saying. Down here at Rupp Arena, it's going on.
I'll fly.
Here it comes. Oh, yeah. See, there you go. All right, 7:30 tonight, 7:30 tomorrow night, 11:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. Another show at 7:30 in the evening on Saturday, and then 1 to 5 to wrap things up. So plenty of opportunity. Scattered showers and storms around. Good thing. Get outside, get in here and enjoy it. And don't forget tomorrow, the elephant brunch out at Triangle Park. They are actually going to be feeding the elephants. Not Luke, but the actual elephants in the show. But these guys are looking pretty hungry already. Don't eat that bird. It's, you know, you're scaring people here. It's even quacking here. All right, a lot of fun, guys. Come on down and enjoy it.
All right, thanks, TG.
I think he lost control there.
Yeah.
Chief Meteorologist TG Shuck has been here from early this morning. He joins us now, and TG has been both a student pilot and also kind of an aviation buff. Weather this morning, a little bit of haze. We had southerly winds around 8 miles per hour. A few isolated cells in the area. This plane up until today,
impeccable safety record here in the United States. It's been in service since 1992, only 2 fatal accidents. Here's 422 and here's 826. The distance on this runway here is 7,000 feet used by commercial aviation. The shorter runway here is 3,400 to 3,500 feet. The airport at night, as far as the runways are concerned, are very, very well lit, but that general aviation runway does not have any lights on it. The predominant direction as far as takeoffs this morning, given a south wind at around 8 miles per hour at the 6 o'clock observation out here at Bluegrass Airport, would have been to use runway 22 and take off to the southwest and then eventually head southward to Atlanta. A lot of factors the National Transportation Safety Board will be looking at in the coming days, weeks, and months. They have a go team ready to literally go at a minute's notice. The cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder. The cockpit voice recorder, it does just that. It literally records all of the conversations between tower and cockpit and between the pilots. The flight data recorder will allow investigators to take a look and see what was happening with the aircraft from an instrument standpoint. Evidently, the end of runway 22, now that the repaving process has occurred, and actually in some of the video that we had in Sky First earlier, I didn't notice it at first look, but when we ran it again a couple of minutes ago, actually the end of runway 22 is right here along this taxiway. This particular taxiway is now closed because that takes pilots out to the buffer zone. What they need to do is, at the head of runway 26 right here, they need to curl right across this taxiway right here and hit runway 22. So where those intersect and you've moved the runway down a little bit, and this process only occurring within the last week or so, when he got to this point, potentially here, you go straight to hit 22 or you make a left to hit 26. So there may be some discrepancy on how the runway taxiways are marked out of Bluegrass Airport right now. We pretty much suspected this and talked about this generally throughout the course of the day, but now it has been confirmed officially by the folks at the National Transportation Safety Board that in fact the flight was lined up with a heading of 260.
Severe storms are making their way through Kentucky at this hour. Our First Alert Weather Center is all over it. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist T.G. Shuck with the latest.
The severe threat continues in southeastern Kentucky right now. A number of counties with severe thunderstorm warnings. Live First Alert radar, you can see a very intense line of thunderstorms moving into the southeastern counties. The potential for some large hail and damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. Here are the current warnings. Pike County, severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15. Letcher County until 6:15. In Knott County, you're under severe thunderstorm warning for about another 15 minutes. Really the most intense part of the cell is in eastern Knott. It's going to creep down into the southern part of Floyd County. Floyd County under severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45. And farther to the north here, Martin County, severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45. So really all up and down that line, you can really run into some problems with some damaging winds and large hail. And we've got the supercell thunderstorm right along the border with Kentucky and Tennessee and southern Kentucky, and that has caused a lot of problems, especially back into Clinton and Cumberland counties. So definitely monitoring that. We're catching a break back west of Lexington, but that may kind of add to the potential for severe weather later on in the evening. Let's show you the tornado watch we have. This goes until 11 o'clock tonight for all of central and eastern Kentucky here. Check out the 6-hour loop. Boy, just incredible across west central Kentucky. Supercell thunderstorms developing during the early part of the afternoon, and those are particularly dangerous because they contain very large hail and the possibility of tornadoes. You notice back north of Louisville, almost a little outflow boundary, which is rain-cooled air. The thunderstorms that moved east and south of Lexington at some rain-cooled air shot to the north, and all that warm, moist air out there to feed upon. That's set the stage for more storms, predominantly just north of the Commonwealth, but farther back to the west into parts of eastern Missouri, just ahead of the area of low pressure in the cold front, more storms are developing. So when this stuff moves out of southeastern Kentucky, we may catch a bit of a break, at least for a lot of the area, into the early evening, but not until that front clears the area will we see the threat for severe weather ending across central and eastern Kentucky. So it could be an interesting evening to come. More storms, again, possible later on, and we'll continue to update those moving across across southeastern Kentucky coming up in weather here in just a few minutes.
Now, your first alert forecast.
We're playing the waiting game for the big-time changes set to arrive as we head into early Friday. We're going to go from summer to winter in fairly short order, so get set for those bigger changes. All right, live first alert radar showing the range still along and west of I-65. It's been that way the majority of the afternoon. I think the better part of the evening, it's all due to the front moving along I-65 and then stalling out. So what you see out here to the west shouldn't move very far to the east as we go through the evening hours, so it may be high and dry, and it's still going to be relatively mild. Let's show you the bigger picture here. And boy, look at the snow flying. They're talking about a foot plus central parts of Missouri and into central Illinois, and you see the severe threat increasing. That's right on the nose of that area of low pressure, which is helping that front to stall out. It is going to stay put for the better part of the evening, and then eventually that low is going to spin our way. Look what's happened here in the last hour. It's 54 in Covington, 55 in Louisville. The front has moved through there, but as the area of low pressure spins northeastward, it may push the front back to the west, so temperatures, in fact, may climb back into the 60s along I-71 there. Look at the difference here. Music City at 72, 42 in Paducah, 26 St. Louis, 18 in Des Moines. So that cold air not far off. 69 the high, 59 the morning low. You can wave goodbye to those readings. We're going to be heading into winter. 49 and 33 the average high and low, and about 1/10 of an inch just over that as far as rainfall. Here's the front setting up shop. This area of low pressure, unfortunately, it is going to intensify as it rolls northeastward. So we're going to see an awful lot of wind, and the wind fields are going to be so high it's not going to take much for that air to mix down to the surface. Unfortunately, that is going to mean the severe threat may increase during the wee hours of the morning, primarily a damaging wind threat, but also with all that spin with that area of low pressure, an isolated tornado, not out of the realm of possibility. Into Friday, wind advisory, wind gusts over 40 miles per hour with sustained winds around 30 to go along with the colder air. On the flip side, the winter storm threat, heavy snow as mentioned, St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit. We will see a bit of snow. We actually could see a changeover, maybe a little bit on the grassy areas, but generally speaking, the heavier accumulating snow will stay back to our northwest here. Area of low pressure really wrapped up. That's a trick here. Once it moves through, we're finally going to see the colder air here in central and into eastern Kentucky. It may be a case tomorrow morning where a lot of folks wake up to temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s around daybreak, and in a few hours, boom, we're down to around 30 or so, say late morning around the lunch hour, and conceivably could be in the upper 20s by the end of the day tomorrow. So just drastic changes, really unbelievable here. And the colder air is going to be sticking around not only for the weekend, but also into next week. A couple of shots at snow, just light snow showers late Sunday and into Monday, and then a better shot late Wednesday into Thursday. But we kind of set this up all week, and it is just on our doorstep here. So the severe threat initially, and then some wintry weather to kind of cap things off tomorrow.
All right, you've been telling us it's coming, so get ready. Thanks.
All right, we'll be right back.
What do you think here? You know, if I got in front of the key wall and did a little weather dress like this, it might be a little ugly. It's been interesting, to say the least, last hour and a half down here at Rupp Arena. We are under the big top known as Rupp Arena for the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus all this weekend downtown. Now, always an awful lot of fun. We've been having fun with the clowns here. They're doing a little acrobatics going on. We're actually going to visit with them here in just a minute. First, let's talk a little weather here. Warm day. It's good to get inside from the heat of outside.